Great. Welcome everyone to our CSR and dispatcher group here at ServiceTitan. This is our lunch and learn. We have this meeting the third Thursday of every month. So we're glad to have you here. If you could just make sure that you're muted while we are in a group setting and during the training, there will be some times today where I will ask you to unmute yourself, jump off, comment, share, contribute to the conversation. And then, but during the training, if you'll just stay on mute, but hopefully you'll stay involved. I love to see these chats coming in. Please continue to let us know where you're calling in from if you haven't yet. Great to have so many of you here with us today. Thank you for joining. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Angie Snow. I am a principal industry advisor here at ServiceTitan. I used to work in the industry, very much in call centers. I've done a lot of CSR coaching and training. I currently have a company called the CSR Academy, which with a couple of partners, Erica Lenore and Michelle Myers, we are doing a fun event next month in Utah. If you'd like more information on that, let me know. But CSRs, dispatchers, call centers, this is my favorite thing. I'd also love an opportunity to come and visit any of you in your call center. So let me know if I'm in the area, I'd love to come stop by and visit you. I have two partners that help me with this group. First one is Brittany Burgess. She's on the call with us today. Brittany, hi, Brittany.
Hey, how y'all doing?
And Brittany also works at ServiceTitan with me. She's over our customer advocacy program, Torch Network. How many of you are Torch Network members? Any Torch Network members in the house? See a few of you. Torch Network, she works really hard. She's kind of a matchmaker. If you need help with something, she finds someone in our Torch Network who is really great at whatever that might be, reports, price books, dispatching, whatever that is. And she kind of matches people up. And so she's awesome at helping us find customers that can help customers at ServiceTitan. So, and she also comes from the industry like me. She used to run call centers and help with marketing. I think she was a plumbing and service manager in HVAC as well. So
All the things.
done all the things. She's a woman. I'm like a woman of many, many talents. So awesome to have you here. And then Krista Landon also helps us run this group. And between the three of us, we take turns leading trainings and sharing ideas. So I'm not sure if Krista's joined or not. She is out of Gulf Shore Air in Florida. So we are your mentors. Today, here's our agenda. I'm going to share with you a couple of events that we have coming up. I'll be doing a training on the CSR mindset, and then we'll do a bit of a mastermind. And like I said, we will be recording this, the training portion of this up into the end of our CSR mindset training. And then we will open it up for questions for you. I love the mastermind part of this because this is where we can come together, ask questions, and learn from each other. When I sit in these rooms with all of you, I know you guys are in the day-to-day busyness of it all, and it's just great to learn from each other, to see what we're doing and see if we might have something that we can share to help other companies as well. So thank you for being here, being willing to ask questions and also share answers. And then we'll wrap it up. So we'll be together for about 60 minutes today. So thank you for taking your lunch hour to be with us. Couple events that are coming up. You can see my Toolbox Live here. Toolbox Live is kind of our baby at ServiceTitan. Brittany and I, we work on these events, bringing great speakers and content out into the country. We come to you and we help empower you and your team, your leadership team, whoever would like to come to these events. We do have a call center event next week in Miami, Florida. And I think tomorrow is the last day to sign up. So if you would like more information about this event, it's going to be 2 days. We're bringing in some very successful call center managers, as well as some of our team members here from ServiceTitan to do some really great training. That is next week on Thursday and Friday. So if you want more information, go to servicetitan.com/events. And I should have put like a QR code or something on the slide, but I didn't. So go there. Maybe Brittany can drop that in the chat for you so you can all get on there if you want more information. We do have a finance edition where we will be going over finance, accounting, exporting, all of those type of questions and content. That is in May. In just a few weeks, that will be here in Salt Lake City. We'll be doing it at our ServiceTitan office. So I live in Utah. This isn't too far from my house. So hope you get to come out and enjoy our beautiful mountains and be part of that if this is something you're interested in. And then stay tuned because we are just about to launch our, I think this is going to be our last Toolbox Live before Pantheon. So this will be our last one of this season. In June, we're going to Philadelphia and we're going to be diving into Pro products, powering up with Pro. So if you use our Pro products or you're maybe like want to learn how to use them better, come join us at this one because these are really, really good. Oh, registration's open for all three. Awesome. Thanks, Brittany. That's cool. So make sure you jump on if you're interested in any of these. And if you'll be in Miami next week, we're excited to see you there. It'll be awesome. All right, let's dive into CSR mindset. This is an area that I am really passionate about. I've done a lot of studying and training as I've worked on
Started already.
becoming a coach. It's helped me learn a lot about mindset and how important and how powerful the mind is. And actually, in the Oxford Dictionary, mindset is defined by the established set of attitudes held by someone. Where do we get these attitudes from? Where do we get this mindset from? What affects our mindset? Drop it in the chat. What do you think affects your personal mindset from a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis? What are those things that affects your mindset? Okay, Brittany says family drama. Exactly. Whatever's going on immediately in your home, in your personal life, your relationships, that will affect your mindset. Your environment, the weather, Kristen says. Kristen's absolutely right. It's raining today, and I'm not loving that. It's kind of affected my mindset here in Utah. Customers. Stacy says customers. Yes, customers can affect our mindset. What if you get a really crappy customer and they just put you in a bad mood, right? Or you get a really happy customer and they lift your spirits. So you can let your customers affect your mindset. Okay, Megan says your coworkers absolutely can affect your mindset for good or bad. Logan says puppies. How many of you have puppies nearby? Okay, do they help your mindset? Yes, no? Hopefully good, hopefully for the better. Sometimes my puppy drives me crazy. Lack of sleep, poor diet, the way we take care of our physical being. Megan says being in a thankful mindset. I love that. We're going to talk more about how important gratitude is and how gratitude can really affect our mindset. Attitude, perspective, health, our surroundings. Bobby Joe says we can affect our own. Yes, personally, our siblings' life. Lots of really, really good answers here. Thank you for sharing those. Our mindset is how we think about three things. And when we think about mindset, it's how we think about ourselves, it's how we think about others, and how we think about situations and experiences. So we can have an attitude, this set of attitudes around how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about other people, and situations and experiences. And so I want to dive into these three topics today to talk about why this is important as a CSR and how this can really affect you as in your role as a CSR, a dispatcher, or in leadership as you're leading these teams and what to be watching for. I think it's important to go back and do a little bit of kind of psychology training here and think about where do these thoughts and mindset even come from? Now, thoughts are where everything happens. Thoughts come to our mind because of an image that we see,
Don't know how to screen
words
record.
that we hear. And images and words create emotion. And this emotion is something we need to be able to manage. And we have this thought about something, right? Our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions drive us to take action or to not take action. And then depending on what actions we're taking, that will get us the result. So let's think of a common example in a call center. Okay. Let's say we have a customer that calls in and they're not a very polite customer. And they've said some negative words to us. Now, these negative words create an emotion in us as a CSR, and we need to decide how we're going to react or be proactive in that case. These emotions sometimes can make us act in ways that we may not want to act in or that we may regret. So it's just really important to think about how we react when certain emotions arise. Early on as a CSR, I would get very defensive. I would get very nervous. There were a lot of things that these emotions would trigger in me as a CSR. And I really had to train myself. How am I going to respond? Because there are a lot of things we can't control, but we can always control our response and the way we respond to people, to others, to certain situations. This is something that's in our control. And so this is really the mindset that we want to work on. How do we help our CSRs and how do we help ourselves be able to respond in a positive way in these types of situations? I want to share this cool quote from Henry Ford. How many of you've probably seen this before? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. A lot of this has to start with how we think about ourselves. And whether you're in a leadership position, whether you are a CSR, how do you think about yourself? What are some words that you would use to describe yourself? Just drop a few in the chat. I would love to hear. How do you think about yourself right now? And like I said, this changes minute to minute based upon things going on in our lives. What are some of your thoughts about yourself right now? Okay, I've got someone who's tired, thinking I'm tired. Okay. Overwhelmed, stressed, happy, insecure, tenacious, optimistic, exhausted, thankful. Oh no, someone's working on a very overwhelming project, confident, exhausted, self-doubt, positive, funny, hopeful. There is a lot of power in the words that you are using here in this text, in this thread. Thinking about the power of words is really, really important, and the language that we're using to describe how we feel. Now, I want to go back a slide and remind you, whoops, all of these started as a thought. Before you could give me a word, you had to think, how do I feel? And those words, if you say I'm tired, that creates an emotion around it. If you say I'm positive, I'm happy, that creates an emotion. I'm stressed, that creates an emotion. The words and the language that we use create emotions and will affect our actions and the results that we're getting. And so I want to really stress and emphasize the importance of language and how important it is to be careful and be aware of the language that we are using day to day. Now, I can feel tired, I can feel stressed, I can feel overwhelmed, but the language that I use can change that. The language that I use about myself can change that. Even though I'm feeling a lot of these things, if I don't label that, if I don't project that, if I don't say that out loud, I can change my mindset simply by changing the words I'm using about myself. I had a meeting with Brittany earlier on today, and she knows I've been going through some sickness. And so I truly do feel sick. I do feel tired. I do feel worn down. But I know when I have to show up at a training or if I'm showing up to do whatever I need to do for my job, I'm going to need to change my mindset because I can't show up as a sick and tired and overwhelmed person, even though that's how I'm feeling. And so this morning, I've had to do a lot of work on myself to change my mindset and label those things differently. I'm very excited about this meeting. I'm grateful to be here. I'm energized. I am motivated. I am going to learn and grow from this call. And so I've had to change some of the words I've been using about my own thoughts about myself to put me in the mindset to be ready to share and present and train. Megan shared this awesome quote. I love this. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Um, I want to talk a little bit more about how powerful words are. This is my daughter right here. Right now, she is a junior in college, and this is her college team. And this is a picture I took from her playing a game last weekend. I was going to insert a picture from her 10 years ago when she was just learning how to play volleyball with her club team. And at that time, her coach started at that time teaching her some very valuable mindset lessons around language and around the words that we use. She told her, when you are going up to serve, I don't want you to say, don't miss the serve, don't miss the serve, because don't and miss are two negative words. Instead, use positive words. I'm going to get the serve in. Or instead of saying, don't lose, we can't lose this game, those are negative words. She's changed it to, let's win, we're going to win. And so just changing from negative words to positive words changes the mindset of the team. And this is something that's helped her over the years. And I've thought a lot about now, especially even as I kind of help coach at my high school a little bit, and the words that I'm using with them. I've had the opportunity to be kind of a mental coach for them and help them with their mindset as they've been playing volleyball. And it's crazy how just shifting the language and the words that you're using to describe yourself, your team, your competitors, the experience will change it. Yeah. So here are a few things. I want to show a book to you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen really quick because I want to show a book that has made a big difference. If this is something that you would like to dive into closer with your team, it's called Conscious Language. And it's not a super popular book. It's one that I started reading because a coach, my mindset coach, helped me find this book. So you may not be able to find it, or it may be kind of expensive. So do some research on it. Robert Tennyson Stevens is the author of this book, but it's all about being very conscious of the words and the way we label our thoughts, the way we label our feelings, the way we label others and ourselves and experiences, and how these words, all the language that we use is kind of self-prophesying. What we say comes to pass. This is easy. This is a good read. This is a fun thing to do. This is the way you speak about it is what will happen, and just the power that words give to an experience. So you'll see a lot of really cool examples in this book about ways that you can change your words about things. Some of the words that he says to upgrade, just even on this page, is I want, I would, I need, I could, I might, I hope, I wish, I must, I have to. There are a lot. I won't go through all of those, but what does this have to do with the CSR and their language? I want to kind of open this up for discussion if anyone wants to come off mute and maybe share, what do you think this language could affect a CSR and their performance?
I have thoughts on it.
I'd love to hear. Thanks, Megan.
I know for me personally, I feel like, your mindset does play a huge role in your productivity, how you respond to customers. And like, like on my thing, self-doubt is something being thankful is something that I'm working on. And I've noticed it made a huge difference. I'm like, oh, I have to go to work today and it's going to be stressful, and then I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
God, thank you for this day. Thank you for this job. And I've noticed trying to be more positive on that
Mm.
has a little bit of a shift, and I've noticed it recently. So I'm trying to keep practicing that. But I have noticed that when I am really struggling with self-doubt, it affects it really does my productivity goes down. I overanalyze everything. my conversations with customers. You know what I mean? Like, so all of that really plays in a role. So that's me being real transparent here. So your mindset, I've seen it both play a positive and a negative role in my personal life and with work. So that's my thoughts.
Megan, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you being transparent and vulnerable and sharing that, because I feel like this is something that is not just I've mastered mindset. I'm good. I'm done. No, this is something that's an ongoing quest for a lot of us, because like all of you said earlier, we have these things in life that can affect our mindset and our ability to show up as our best self and with that best attitude that we want to bring to our job. And so it's something we have to continually be working on. So thank you for that. I think being aware of that and noticing when some of those words start coming out of your mouth, and then trying to shift those and change those into more positive words can increase that. Other thoughts, Vila has some great thoughts here in the chat. A positive mindset helps how we interact with people at work. Also, positivity is contagious, so it spreads to those around you. Yeah, absolutely. This is our power and ability to influence others, right? We have this cool ability to influence others with our mindset. So it makes me also want to, I'm going to skip this one for just a second, because it makes me want to think about our mindset about other people. I'm going to go back to those two slides in just a second. But how do we think about our customers, our coworkers, our leadership team, our technicians, the people that do the work for us? What are the words that we're using to describe them and talk about them? And how do we think about them? And can we upgrade those words? Because if you're going to be thinking of your technicians in a negative light, because sometimes technicians make mistakes, sometimes they're not easy to talk to, sometimes they're grumpy. And if that's how we're thinking about them, how do you think we're going to talk about them when we talk to a customer? We have to upgrade the way we think about people and others and change those words, because when you talk about people in a positive way and you can see them in a positive way, it may be a way they don't even see themselves. And it may give them just even that glimpse of, this is something I can rise to. That's a leadership skill that I'm teaching in my leadership course, about just changing your thoughts about people and the way you speak about people, especially in front of them. If you can compliment a person in front of other people, that is one of the coolest things you can do as a leader. One of my leaders just did that to me today, and it felt really amazing, and it just lifted my spirits, and it makes me want to perform at a higher level, because he gave me this great compliment in front of so many of my colleagues. And so helping people realize that they can rise to that is really, really good. Joseph, I love your thoughts here. It affects the framing and undertone of any conversation you have. Absolutely. With your customers, coworkers. So we have this great ability to influence and change how people are thinking and change their mindset. But we have to start with ourselves. We have to start with ourselves. I wanted to share this quick story with you. This is me and my husband. We were out giving a new furnace to this cute little customer. She had this old wall furnace for over 50 years, and someone nominated her for our gift of heat competition, and she was selected to win. And so we went out to give her a brand new furnace and upgrade her heating system. And she was like, I don't know why you gave it to me. This thing still works great. Like, I'm just like, she was so grateful that we were out there, but she's like, there's got to be so many other people that are more deserving of this than I am, because this still works. It's fine. I just come in here in this room, the one room that it would heat in the whole house. I just come in here and get warm whenever I'm cold. And it was just, she had this attitude and this mindset of abundance. She had what she needed. She was blessed, and she was grateful for what she had. And what a cool mindset to live your life in, a life of abundance and a life of gratitude. And that has just always stuck with me. And a few of you have mentioned in the chat here how important gratitude is. A really special thing and cool thing about gratitude is you cannot have gratitude and be stressed out at the same time. You can't. Those two emotions cannot coexist. So one thing I do when I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm feeling negative or I'm feeling down is I turn to thinking about what can I be grateful for today? And I just start making a list. Um, this is something we do with our technicians when we start our tech meetings every morning. They have to list 5 things that they're grateful for before we even start the meeting. 5 things that they're grateful for. And think about 5 goals that they're working on. And then we have them do push-ups or jumping jacks or 20 reps of something, which is it's our 5-5-20 routine that they do. But it always starts with 5 gratitudes because that gratitude is the key to shifting your mindset. So, does anyone else have a cool, like routine or ritual or something you do in your office or with your teams that is focused around gratitude to help with that? I would love to hear any comments or ideas. You're welcome to put it in the chat or come off mute. If you do, I hope you'll share those in the chat because I'd love to hear those. I'm always looking for new ideas and new ways and things you can do. How could we apply something like this in our call center? What could we do? My son, a few years ago, right after COVID happened, when they started opening schools back up and they were all going back into schools, the principal started a similar routine with students at our school. And he had all the students start their day off with, I don't remember how many things it was, but they had make a list of things that they were grateful for that day, just to really try and shift and show them that they could be in control of their mindset and you could be in control of your attitude. It's not the events or experiences that are happening around you. It's how you're staying in control of your mind and the way you're thinking about life. So when we talk about improving thoughts about ourselves, and I want you to think about this, especially with your CSR team, these are 3 areas where you can encourage your team to improve their thoughts about themselves. And it starts with skills, making a list of skills that they have. And I think we might be surprised at all the skills that we do have. I don't want this to feel like a homework assignment, but this could be a really good team activity for you to do or during a team training. Make a list of all your skills that make you a great CSR. What are some of those skills? What do you think some of those skills could be?
Patience, active listening,
Multitasking.
What was that one, Brenda?
Multitasking.
Multitasking, being able to handle multiple things at the same time. Active listening, I love this. Being organized, being a great listener,
being proactive instead of reactive.
being proactive, amazing, yes. Go ahead.
Just as I was about to say it, somebody typed it, having empathy.
Empathy. Empathy is a skill. A positive tone, emotional intelligence, being compassionate. That kind of goes along with empathy, but being able to show that you care. I was doing a CSR Academy training a few months ago, and one of the things we really focus on in this training is CSR mindset. And I had everyone write on sticky notes, what are some of the skills or mindsets that you wish your CSRs would have? And look at this. I keep them next to my desk because there are so many of them. But we've got a critical thinker, being able to adapt and being flexible, being approachable, having an understanding, being driven, being creative. A lot of these skills, now some of these skills are just inherent and we all have natural gifts and we all have natural abilities, but some of these skills and abilities need to be developed. So after you go through this with your team, and I would also ask them to help you think of like, what would be the ideal CSR for your team? What skills would you want them to have? What abilities would you want them to have? and make out a list of those and think about that. Because now you kind of have a roadmap of this is who I want to develop. This is who I want to become. And the cool thing about this, if you have a growth mindset, you believe that you can learn these skills. That's why they're called skills. Skills can be learned. Abilities may be things that you were already naturally born with. Skills, abilities, you can also learn some additional abilities as well. So, and then this last one over here is personal value. Do you feel like you have value? And some people, for whatever reason, their childhood, we're all programmed differently from the time we're born and the different experiences that we have with others. Sometimes we are able to see ourselves as very valuable people, and other people really struggle with that, and they don't see their personal value as much. This is a leadership tool. This is, as tools, our job is, as leaders, our job is to help add value to others and help them see their value. You can do this by giving them more skills. You can do this by helping them see their value, by helping them feel successful and accomplished. But these skills and the way we talk about ourselves are really, really important. So as you make this list, and with your team, with this activity, have them make a list of their skills that they have and help them show evidence of what a valuable person that they are and the contributions that they are making to your team, and celebrate that and reflect on that. Instead of always focusing on what you don't have or what you aren't able to contribute, focus on what you do. This is a difference of mindset of lack and mindset of abundance. Help your team realize they have what it takes. And if there's something they feel like they're lacking, let's empower them. Let's give them training and skills and things to help them develop that side of them. And that will help them gain that mindset. Okay, we talked about our mindset about others, the way we think about other people. Do we keep them in a positive light or do we keep them in a negative light? I've done a lot of my training under John Maxwell, and I'm not sure if I've shared this on this call with you before or not, but one of the things that John Maxwell, one of the greatest leadership trainers in the world, has said is, he says when he walks into a room and he sees people, he puts a 10 on every single person's head because he sees the value of a person. Everyone is a 10. Now, do some people do bad things? Yes. Do some people speak poorly? Do they make bad decisions? Yes. That does not change their value. Everyone has value. And when we can help our CSRs understand the value of every person, it changes the way they act when communicating and when having interactions with those people, especially with our customers. Think about customers as kind. They are people who need help. They are good people. They're worthy of our service. They're deserving. When the mindset that we have around our customers changes the way we talk to them. What if we label a caller as a price shopper? Oh, that was just a price shopper. Will that change the way we interact with them? Absolutely. What if we relabel them as someone who is really looking for good value and wanting value? And so that changes the way we talk to them as well. So the way we think about others affects our ability to communicate with others and the way we communicate and talk about them. Any other thoughts on this before I skip to the last section? Okay, the last thing that affects the CSR's mindset, or our mindset in general, is the way we think and speak about experiences or situations or things that happen. Let's go back to my first example of, we get this really upset customer that calls in and they're complaining about something. How do we think about that? What are our thoughts around that experience or that situation? Now, it depends on your mindset, right? You can be grateful that you just had a really upset customer call in, or you can be upset back at that customer. You can be nervous about it. You can be fearful. You can be afraid of it. It's important to identify our thoughts and feelings around these types of calls, around every call. Are we grateful for the calls? When I'm doing CSR training, I train CSRs to be very grateful for every single call that comes in, because every call is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to make a good impression. It's an opportunity to book a call. It's an opportunity to build a connection. Could be an opportunity to sell a membership, an opportunity to solve a problem, an opportunity to find a better solution. So like, think about the opportunities. Are calls opportunities, or are they hindrances? When you get those calls with upset customers, or if you're going into this mindset of, I can't handle this, I can't do this, that will affect your ability to handle that call versus I'm grateful for every single upset customer that calls me, because that's an opportunity to learn and grow. So this growth mindset transitions into every single thing, every single call that we are able to take. So those customer interactions, the mindset around training and receiving training, are we grateful for the training, or is training an annoyance? Team meetings, same thing. Are we grateful for our team meetings, and are we going to learn and grow, and what's the intention behind it? Or are they just wasted time? And then the daily tasks that CSRs have to accomplish. Now, I'm not saying everything has to be sunshine, roses, unicorns, rainbows all the time, right? But it affects the way that we empower ourselves to behave in these types of situations. It affects the way we're empowering ourselves to make a good situation out of this, or a poor situation out of this, depending on how we think about that. Comment here in the chat. I feel bad they're upset, but I feel grateful that I can be the one to assist them. I love that. And I think that that's the goal of every CSR, to be able to be like, to adjust to a mindset of gratitude. Because if you can be grateful for every call, every opportunity, every task that you get to do, every way that you get to contribute to the company, contribute to your team, that is the mindset we want on our team. And that's the mindset that we want to help our CSRs develop. So I'd love to open it up to just hear how you guys are encouraging more gratitude in your call centers. If there are CSR mindset techniques, things that you've tried and worked on in your call center, I'd love to have just a little bit of sharing time here. If anyone has ideas that they'd like to share.
So my team, we are all remote. And I have a few English as a second language customer service reps. So culturally, it's been really, really neat to learn. But right now we're working, we use Asana and Slack for communication and for tasks. And we have an Asana board for the team. And right now we are collectively working on a project for something very similar to this, is kind of like a use these words, not these, like use this, not that. And so one of my CSRs brought it up at her one-on-one that she would like to find better words to use. So we're just making a collective team project, and it's so far pretty fun, and I kind of like it.
I love that. Absolutely. No, that's a great tip. Does anyone else do something similar to that? The words you should use or can use. I don't want to say the word should. Should is another one of those. The words you can use, the words you choose to use, claim to use. Awesome. I love that, Bobby.
So we have something that we do with our team. We started it a few months ago, but we call it Excellence in Action. And every month between our team meetings, they have the opportunity to nominate each other for Excellence in Action badges. It's almost like a Girl Scout or Boy Scout badge.
I love it.
And then they have a pendant that they hang at their desk, and they get to put these badges onto their pendants. But like rock solid reliability, it's a chance for them to point out what they see in each other and may not see in themselves. And then they get recognized for that in our team meeting. And sometimes it's not necessarily things that they think about themselves that everyone else sees in them. And it's always like the best portion of our meeting when everyone is either, they're surprised or a little shocked or whatever that they were nominated for that spot, or just tickled, like
Yeah.
to know that they see those things in each other is also awesome for us, because the day does get stressful. We do get irritated with each other, and we spend a lot of time together. So it's nice that they still see positive attributes in each other.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't love that anymore. I think that's phenomenal because not only are you, you've created this platform and this space where you've identified those skills and attributes. They're visible to your team, but now it's helping them identify those in others, and especially when you can't see it in yourself.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
all have our blind spots. We don't know how other people see us. We see ourselves one way and people see us another way. So that is so cool. I love that. What's been the response from your team? Like, are they excited about it, or how long have you been doing this?
So I think we started it in January, right at the new year. So we introduced that, and they like nominating each other. We'll get these long lists in our Slack channels that of I nominate so and so, and they have like this full list of for this, and this, and then I nominate this person for this, and this, and they're always excited to do it, and then I think they take a sense of pride when it's presented to that person, because they're like, I did that, like, and so it's been a really positive thing. It's been a good morale booster.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing. That reminds me of just you see what you're focused on. And so you've created that list and they're focused on and they're going to see that, right? You see more of it. It's kind of like the new car analogy. When you buy like a new car and you didn't notice that car on the road very much, but now you notice it everywhere because you're focused on it more. It's the same thing when we're focused on those attributes and looking for those, we're going to see them more. We'll see the good more because we're focused on that. So, oh, what a cool thing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Sure.
Awesome. Amanda had a great comment in the chat. She said, my mother used to tell me no matter how bad a situation seemed or how bad we viewed something, there was always two things. One, it could always be worse. And there was always something to be thankful for, even within some of the hardest situations. So she always looked for the best in everything she had to do or endure it no matter what. I love that. Perception of a situation has a huge effect. Exactly. Thank you for sharing that, Amanda. That's so great. Another thought to kind of back that up is John Maxwell also has a book called Sometimes You Win and Sometimes You Learn. And when these things happen, instead of thinking, oh man, I lost, that was so bad, we learn from them. And so wins and learns are really a cool way to do that. A cool way to keep it positive. Like, okay, when you're reflecting on situations or experiences, what were the positives? What were the wins? But also what maybe didn't go so well and what can we learn from that? Because if you can learn from it, it's still a positive, right? It's still a positive thing. You can twist it to be positive if you're learning from it. And that's really when we would get those complaining customers, that was always something I would share with those customers is I'm so glad you brought this to our attention. Thank you so much. This is going to help our team so we can improve and get better, right? So changing even those negative complaining customer calls to a positive thing, because now we're going to get better because of that. As a mom, I would do that with my kids at the end of the day too. Give me a win and a learn. Tell me something great that happened today, but also something you learned today. And you could even apply that to your call center. Very cool. Awesome. Any other thoughts on mindset or things that you've done in your call centers or with your teams? Okay, I think we're going to wrap up this portion of our training. I'm going to stop the recording. And